everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Elle here with another video. So I'm really sorry that I ended up skipping the first week of February. It was just crazy busy with school assignments and stuff like that. I did not foresee my last semester being this busy, and I don't know why I didn't see that coming, because I absolutely should have, but like it just like bam, hit me out of nowhere. So first week of February was just like a no-go for videos, but hopefully for the rest of February I'm good to go. But yeah, so for today's video I'm going to be taking you guys through my February TBR, even though it's kind of late. I'm still hoping to get through a majority of these books this month, but before we jump into that, I did want to let you guys know that I wanted to do kind of something special and different for February because it is Black History Month. I know that there are a bunch of readathons going on that are celebrating Black authors. I know that there's a romance one that is centered completely around Black romance authors, and then there's just another Black readathon going on in general. I won't be able to participate in any of those readathons this year just because school is so crazy. Hopefully next year I will definitely be able to do that, but this year I can't. So I wanted to do something else kind of special on my channel. And I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier on, I think earlier this year, like late last year, I polled about if you guys would like informational videos about Black history during Black History Month, and majority of you guys said yes. So I was trying to kind of like sit and figure out how to do that. I didn't want to have just like specific videos dedicated to Black history because I didn't know how to make them interesting. Like, I'm not a history channel, and like while I can sit here and talk to you guys literally for hours about history in general because I really do like history, I know that that wasn't going to be appealing for a lot of you. So trying to find the format to present that information for you guys was a little bit tricky. So what I decided to do is that at the end of all my videos in February, I'm going to give you guys like about a 1 to 2 minute kind of spiel or tidbit of information about a specific event or person that was a huge influence in Black history. And then that way you guys can, if you liked the information that I gave you, you can go and look up more information about it and kind of learn more about it and delve deeper into it. And yeah, it's just like a quick way to get facts out to you guys about Black history, just kind of like spread knowledge around, I guess, regarding Black history. So that's what I'm going to do for that. So make sure you watch to the very, very end of all the videos, especially in February, so you can get that little piece of information or that little fun fact about Black history. So with that long introduction being done, let's jump into my TBR. Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly, look in my eyes. Okay, so jumping right into my TBR, it's actually a really short TBR for this month. One, because February is the shortest month out of the year, and two, because I have to factor in the mass amounts of schoolwork that I have. I do have my reading week at the end of the month, and I'm hoping to do a 24-hour readathon of strictly Black authors. So any book that I don't finish before then, I will hopefully get to in that readathon, but I'm hoping to get these ones done before the readathon so I can, add some more in there. But yeah, that's a hope. That's not like a 100% I'm for sure doing it, but that is my hope. So yeah, obviously for this month, all the books that I've chosen, well, I shouldn't say obviously because not everybody does this. All the books that I've chosen for this month are centered around a Black main character or written by a Black author, and thus have Black main characters or people of color within the book. So let's get started. So the first book on my TBR for February is The Boy in the Black Suit by Jason Reynolds. I absolutely adore Jason Reynolds' writing. He's the author of Long Way Down, which is written in verse, and it's absolutely beautiful. This one is following our main character, Matt, who has just gotten a job at a funeral home. So he wears a black suit everywhere. I don't know what the correlation is to why he wears a black suit everywhere, but he does. And he meets a girl named Lovey who is extremely tough and has gone through a lot of stuff in her life, but for some reason she won't cry. And this really intrigues him and grabs his attention because apparently she should cry and she doesn't. So yeah, it's kind of following their story. That's a very shaky analysis of this book, but that's pretty much what I pulled from the synopsis. Regardless, I'm very excited for it because I love Jason Reynolds' writing and I think that he's an amazing storyteller. So, and this one is not written in verse. So I'm very excited to see him take on the prose writing style. and tell a story this way. So yeah, I'm excited for it. We'll see how it goes. The next book that I have on my TBR, I'm actually super excited for, and that is Charming as a Verb by Ben Phillip. And it's following our main character, Henry, who is pretty much just this very charming, smooth high schooler. And he can charm pretty much everybody except for his fellow classmate and neighbor, Connie. And we're kind of going through this we're kind of like going through his journey of like trying to, I guess, get her attention in some type of a way. And alongside of the like the backdrop of the story is he is a dog walker in New York, which I think is really cool. So I'm very excited to see the take on this. I think it's going to be a very cute little YA romance. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. And we do get, there's a lot of different moving pieces to it. So like I said, he's a dog walker in New York City. I believe his clients are like very affluent people. He's trying to get the attention of a girl that just won't pay him any mind. He's also, his family are also Haitian immigrants. So we get kind of like that. I'm hoping to get a little bit of that cultural background and some knowledge there. So yeah, there's a lot of really fun pieces to this book, and I'm very excited to see what Ben Phillip has done with it. So the next book that I have is Stampede by Jason Reynolds and Imran Kendi. Another Jason Reynolds book I'm so excited for. I recently read, oh my gosh, Punching the Air. Yes, I recently read Punching the Air by Ibi Zobi and Yusuf Salam, and I absolutely loved it. And like the cover gave me the same vibe as this cover, but obviously they're two very different books, but I just thought I would share that because, like, I don't know, they just go together really nicely. I'm really excited for this one. This is a condensed version of Stampede. Apparently there's a more historically accurate or historically relevant version of Stampede that I also want to get my hands on. I didn't realize that this was like the YA condensed version. So I'm going to read this one and then definitely get my hands on the extended version, if you will. And it's pretty much just following like race and racism in the USA. And I don't really know much more about it behind that. But yeah, I'm really excited to read it, and I'm hoping to get to this one relatively soon. Should also note that Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas is also on this TBR, but I can't, oh, as I almost fall. I can't find it. I don't know where it's gone. But yeah, I know I talked about it a couple of times. Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. We're following Star's father, Maverick, from The Hate U Give. And that's, yeah, like I said, it's on this TBR, but I don't know where the physical book is. So just know that is on the TBR as well. The next one that I have is Smash It by Francia Simone. And this one is following our main character, who is very like conservative and shy and like prim and proper type of personality. Maybe not prim and proper, but very shy. And she decides, I believe she's in like her senior year of high school, and she creates what I know to be like a bucket list, but she calls it a smash it list, where she's just kind of like gonna jump out of her box and do things that scare the hell out of her. So on the list we have: be bold to do the things that scare me, learn to take a compliment, stand out instead of back, go on a date, and stop crushing and move on. So there seems to be like, these are not like your typical senior in high school bucket list type of things, you know, where it's like, I want to kiss a guy or I want to sneak out type of thing. No, this actually seems to be like really, really in depth and deep. So I'm very excited to see what the story is behind each one of these particular items on the list that is like preventing her from doing it. And yeah, just getting to know this character. And I think the cover of this book is beautiful. And Francia Simone is a fellow booktuber. So I'm really excited to have my hands on this and be able to read it during this month. And then the last book that I have, oh, my hair is in my eyes and everything. The last book that I have is Queenie by Candice Carthy Williams. I was about to say Candice Cathy, but it's Candice Carthy Williams. I talked about this book a couple times, but we're pretty much following. It's not a YA. It's an adult book, but we're following. I believe she's like 21 or 22 years old. No, she's older than that. I think she's my age. I think she's 24. But we're following our 24 mid-20s main character, who just everything in her life that could go wrong is currently going wrong. And it's just a book that really, really resonates with me. One, because it's a Black female main character, which is just great. And two, like I said, I think I mentioned this the last time I put this book on a TBR, is that the hairstyle is what immediately caught my attention, because it's a hairstyle that I do with my own hair. And I think it's really, I don't know, just like it really struck a chord with me, actually being able to walk through a bookstore and find a book that I could relate to on a like physical and aesthetic level, being that it's a hairstyle that I also do. I don't know, I can't do that with a lot of books, and I really enjoyed the fact that I was able to do it with this one. I know that that's super shallow, but I don't know, it was just nice for me. And also the fact that she is around the same age, if not the same age as me, is also another way that I can kind of relate to her. And the idea of like, you know, everybody's like, enjoy your 20s, but for her, her 20s are kind of sucking and she's got no idea what to do or what's going on. And I can totally relate to that feeling. So I'm very, very excited to jump into this book and, you know, go through the life of Queenie and see what her take on her 20s is. Okay. But yeah, so that is pretty much it for my TBR. Like I said, it's super short just because the month is short and I've got a ton of schoolwork this month. I was not prepared for that. But if you're still here, now I'm going to jump into a little bit of Black history with you guys. Okay guys, so the little bit of Black history that I want to share with you today is regarding the Montgomery bus boycott. So in 1955, Montgomery, Alabama, segregation was still very much at large, and that meant that in regards to the transportation system, white people would ride at the front of city buses and Black people would enter through the front of the bus, pay, exit the bus, enter the back of the bus, and have to sit at the back of the bus, which is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, so that was what was going on in 1955. I'm pretty sure we all know who Rosa Parks is and what she did, but if you don't, Rosa Parks was commuting home from work one evening in December of 1955, and her and 3 other Black bus riders were asked to relinquish their seats to white riders because the front of the bus had reached occupancy, and while the other 3 Black bus riders complied, Rosa Parks did not, and she was arrested and fined $10 plus $4 in court fees for her act of defiance. And that is what sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, where for over a year, Black people in Montgomery refused to take the city bus. They walked to work, they arranged carpools. Black taxi drivers were charging the same as bus fare, so like the 10 cents, so that way Black individuals could still afford to take transportation when needed. And yeah, they did not use the bus system for over a year. And because of this, it resulted in the segregation law or rule law being lifted in regards to the transportation system. Obviously, that came with a lot of resistance and violence and just a lot of unnecessary crap that Black people had to endure, but they persevered and it worked. So that is a little bit of information that I wanted to share with you guys today. Obviously, there's so much more that goes into it, but it's just an event that I wanted to make you guys aware of if you didn't already know, and feel free to look more into it. So yeah, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.